I wish I remember the words.
I literally only know it's a possibility. And then I just remember Bella just sitting on the chair,
And
just
then it's circling
really
around.
sad for 4 fucking months.
There's another one that I was debating on playing. Let's try that one.
Okay.
Why won't you play the ones that I have?
And that song sounds creepy as fuck.
Let's see here. I can't get it to stop, so my bad.
It's like copyright. Awesome.
Nothing's happening here. You guys can't hear anything. Oh, this one. Maybe. Why can't you play this song?
This is what happens when Jen wants to play music during the live stream. Her phone just stops working. Hello, everybody. We have Charles from Books on Stereo. Deja, hi, how are you? And we have Bianca.
Yeah, because she's all torn up inside. Sorry, I didn't even have the comments up. Hey, everybody!
Jen has been canceled.
Not yet. I mean,
oh my gosh, so funny. And then, hi, there's 2 Amandas in the chat. I love it.
Oh no, that's gonna be hard. Amanda 1 and Amanda 2. I'll let you guys figure out who's who.
Figure out who's Amanda 1 and Amanda 2. Well, Amanda Ventimiglia used to be my old boss, and now we're just friends because obviously we like books and going to movies.
I wanted to watch the 2 movies too.
Yeah, she booked through all 5. I love it. She was boxing. Deja was boxing me, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm a little bit through the first movie," and I was just like, "Just let me know when you get to the baseball scene." And she was like, "When I say my jaw hit the floor," I was like, "It's iconic, iconic."
Less than 24 hours. Dang. That's a lot of bad acting in a short period of time.
She got through it. I love it.
Oh, I know that you're underage, but have a drink. It's allowed.
Oh, Izzy is here. Hi, Izzy.
Oh.
I mean, the first movie's bad, but it's not that bad.
I mean, have you watched it recently?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I wanted to rewatch them now. Can I just say, and I'm going to skip right to the end, I was for sure that she accepts the proposal in this book.
What?
Yeah. Okay. It's been years since I've read this, okay?
Izzy, you are so right. The first movie is iconic, yeah.
I am going to rewatch them, but I know that it always is a struggle to get through the first one. It's very nostalgic, though, because if you've read the book, it's just like, oh, look at that.
It was enjoyable. Charles don't hate.
I used to like them a lot, but then I watched good movies. The outfits, they are tragic.
Honestly, what I don't get about the first movie is what is with that blue filter that's on there. Like, why does everything look so blue?
It's supposed to be a contrast between the warmth of Arizona and the coldness of Forks, Washington. Can I just tell you also, reading the second book, or listening to it, because I listened to it on the audiobook, answered literally all of the questions that we were having issues with last week. Last week. I was going to say last year, but that's not that long ago. Trash can be good. It's true.
Trash can be entertaining. That's for sure. And then, we do
100%.
snarky comments. Yeah. Trash is delicious, Charles. But yeah, so what did everybody think of second movie or second book? I mean, when I first read it, I hated it, and reading it now, I still hate it. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe it's because I listened to it slower and I was in the mood for it. But I did not hate it as much as I did the first time. Like, I legit the first time was like, this is complete trash. And mainly because Edward was gone. But maybe knowing that he was gonna leave, I had already mentally prepared myself for the downpour of emotions.
Honestly,
but I didn't hate it.
Honestly, like I feel like every 5 minutes I was just like, why are y'all so dramatic? Like,
well, yeah.
It's so like the drama. Oh my gosh. Like her just obviously in the movie, like her just sitting in the chair for 4 months is like so bad. But it's in the book, it's kind of like she literally was like, she was going to school, she was going, she was doing her class, she just wasn't talking, and
she was talking, she just wasn't living. Like Charlie said, that she was just kind of, if you asked her a question, she'd respond, but she wasn't like there.
Right, exactly. Twilight Talk, we love that you're here. But yeah, it's like, oh, and Deja didn't even read it. The last movie was your least favorite.
Yeah, 100% Charles.
Just being depressed the entire for sure.
Was.
And then she starts doing like reckless things because she was hallucinating and hearing voices in her head that she, just convinced herself that it was Edward. Like, no, it wasn't like some magic, like he somehow is able to talk to her now when he can't even read her thoughts. Oh no, it's not that. She's literally just like hallucinating and thinking that she's hearing his voice.
Yeah.
It was so rough.
It was.
It is. Oh, yes, they did. Yeah, they did go to Italy.
That is one of the things that I loved the most about this, because I've just recently went to Italy. I don't know if any of these pictures behind me, that one, the Trevi Fountain, and then the Colosseum. Florence over there. Is that
the only thing? The one thing I remember about the movie is that that Robert Pattinson tried so hard to get abs for the scene where he like takes his shirt off to step into the light, and I was like, oh, you tried, honey, it's okay. I mean, especially because like we see like Taylor Lautner's abs like 20 minutes earlier.
That kid is too legit to quit.
I'm like, oh, you poor thing. You tried. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
They wanted to recast Taylor Lautner, and they're like, I don't think you can get big enough. And he's like, watch me.
Challenge accepted.
I think he did a good job.
I think he succeeded in the ab category.
He turned a lot of people to Team Jacob. Let's just be real.
That is the only reason why people were Team Jacob, is because of his abs. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah. 100. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. 100%. But oh well.
Yeah, I don't like he's so young and he just doesn't give up. And like, I get it. Had Edward not come back, like, props for you. But at the same time, I'm just like, can you go away? Like, she don't like you like that. Don't make her feel things.
Don't confuse her.
You're like a brother to her, and it's just weird and creepy, and you're much younger. If they were like 30, then it wouldn't be so weird, because then he'd be like, what, 27, 28? But she's 18, and he's definitely a minor.
So the only parts I watch in any of the movies. Oh, okay. When you were watching them with your mom?
Before she binged them.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I really, I just felt like, especially Jacob, he was just so pushy.
Yeah. So like,
so
put
pushy.
yourself down. Sit in a box and think about what you've done.
And like, especially the scene where,
talking about the movie theater?
No. I'm talking about in the book, when Carlisle calls and he answers Carlisle. He answers the phone.
He knows. He was just like, oh, he said it with Carlisle. Don't be stupid.
Well, he answers the phone, and then when Bella's like, give me the phone, like, he doesn't, and he was just like, he's at the funeral. Like, doesn't even be like specific. I was like, come on, you're so petty. That is so petty.
You know he knows. Ugh.
So
he's a
petty.
shady little SOB. He can fly off a cliff with Renesmee for all I care. I said it. I said it. She's a weird, creepy little baby, too. I do not like the bursting where she just comes like freaking alien.
Oh, yeah. That the whole, the freaking.
Ooh, that would be nice.
I want a giant wolf, but I don't want it with Bella.
I mean, I'd agree with that statement. That's 100%.
But yeah, the whole CG with baby Renesmee was just.
I mean, it's hard. Like, she wrote it in a way that was almost impossible to film, and it did not transfer to the film well. And I know that this is breaking down, and we're supposed to be talking about New Moon, but let's just face it, no one wants to talk about New Moon.
Let's just be real. I think I have I hardly have any post-it notes either, so I'm just
it's gonna be a short live stream this week.
Just honestly, I don't know how many times or how many different ways I can say that I just didn't like this book, but.
How many stars did you give it?
2 stars.
Oh, so I gave it 3. But that's because I remember hating it. Like, it was literally the bane of my existence, and I didn't like hate it to the core of my soul this time. I didn't love it, but at the same time, I was just like, I got to the end of this one, and I'm like, I really want to reread Eclipse, and then I wanted to watch the movies. So, yes.
Like, it did not need to be this thick. It really didn't.
Yeah, no.
It didn't.
I get that they were probably trying to build a relationship with Jacob, but at the same time, yeah, a novella probably could have done the same thing.
Yeah. Seriously. And I think it's on, I think it's chapter, what chapter is it? Hold on.
Forever. This thing was long.
Chapter 3 is literally called The End. And I'm like, okay, perfect. We can stop and move on. So let's just get on to the next book. Okay.
Hit up the next one, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it did not need to be that long. It didn't at all.
It could have been half as long as it is, in my opinion. Too long.
Yeah.
I think it's like 450 something.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
okay.
I just wanted to really get to Eclipse. So as soon as I finished it, I was like, can I start Eclipse? But I'm like, if I start Eclipse, I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to want to talk about it this week, so I have to wait.
You have to wait. It's 563.
Oh my God, it's 100 pages longer than I thought it was. It's even worse.
Yeah.
It was long enough when I thought it was 450 pages.
Yeah, it literally, you kind of had, because of the whole love triangle that's going to happen in the next book, she really went hard on establishing their relationship in this Bella and Jacob, I mean.
But even by the end of it, I know that she was questioning it. Eclipse is my favorite movie as well. What was I saying?
I don't know.
We started talking about Eclipse and I got sidetracked. I was like, squirrel,
yes! Maybe you'll think about it later.
I'm sure I will. Literally, my brain has stopped working today. I stopped having coffee 6 hours ago, so I blame that.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
There was literally when she was first hearing Edward's voice in her head every time she did dangerous stuff. Yeah. I put a post-it note about it. I was just because I could not remember. I was like, was this ever explained? Does this have any kind of supernatural bearing? Is he actually talking to her? And no. we got to the end and she was just like, no, she literally explained it like it was her subconscious trying to make her believe that Edward really did love her. And that's how she came to the realization that Edward really did love her, is because she was having voices in her head. I'm like, what? What? This is how you're explaining that? Seriously? No. She deserves to be in a psych ward. She's hearing voices at she's doing dangerous stuff to hear the boyfriend that left her, and then she uses it to make herself believe that Edward really does love her.
Yeah, but in the book's defense, she never told anyone about that, so nobody knew that she
needed to commit
her.
Thank God.
No, she should have told someone about it, so then they could have committed her, and she could have gotten the help she needs.
She told Edward at the end. I would have been like, what are you talking about? Maybe I shouldn't come back. That's kind of unhealthy.
Edward should have been full on concerned there.
Oh my God. Well, Edward probably just thought it was really sweet, just like Bella thinks it's sweet that he watches her sleep. So
true. This is a good point.
They're made for each other. They are made for each other.
But what I don't understand, first of all, why is Edward betting against Alice? Like, that's complete garbage. Why?
Yeah.
Why? He even said in the first book, he's like, I'd never bet against Alice. You're literally doing it by saying that you're not going to turn her. And then he puts this ultimatum together, marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Why doesn't she just accept it? Okay, that's the other thing. Why doesn't she just accept it? I get that her mom, Renee, is like all up in arms about marriage. But if this is the one thing that'll happen to get him to change you when you want, it's just like, if you love him like you say you do, just do it. Be
like
the Shia LaBeouf meme and just do it.
Just do it. But like, there's like, she says that she doesn't have any like traumatic thoughts about, like her parents splitting up, but to take some kind of hard stance against marriage like that, I call BS. Honestly, it's like,
well, I think she did it more because her mom had the hard stance on it.
Yeah, and it's obviously like influencing her, and she was just like, "Oh, Renee doesn't want me to get married before I'm 30," and I was just like,
nobody wants to wait till they're 30 to get married. I'm 30, so whatever.
We're gonna be 31.
Shut up.
Well, I'm older than you.
It's just a number. Yeah, by like 9 days.
Hey, I'm still older than you, so you're welcome for that 9 days. But, and then also, like, that dream that she had with basically, like, she was like, she thought it was her grandma. Like, but
that was creepy. And I remember that from the movie, too. That was weird.
Oh my God, I was laughing so hard. I was like, you have the strangest dreams, girl. Like, they're trying to be all, like prophetic or whatever, like some of them are like really like, oh yeah, like that's foreshadowing, that's legit gonna happen. Then she has like the grandma dream. I was like, well, come on.
Maybe Deja can help us out with this. When she gets her paper cut, is it like a fountain of blood coming out of her finger, or is it like a drop of blood and then it's just a lot of blood when he shoves her into the piano? Right. Because that was one reason why I wanted to rewatch the movie, but I never got the chance to do that.
I thought it was a glass table.
I don't know. She fell on something. I thought whatever. So, like, in the book, it's described that she gets, like, this tiny little paper cut where it has one drop of blood. And then I remember from the movie, she, like, puts her finger under it, and then all of a sudden she's got, like, blood down her arm, and then that's what causes Jasper to, like, flip out. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, Belle was just being angsty.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Honestly, what I was wondering about that, like, her paper cut, and Jasper freaks out. I was like, what about when girls at the school have their period? What about when Bella has her period? Like,
it's all blood. It's been described before. There's a difference between period blood and real blood.
Is there?
Stephenie Meyer described this like 100 million times back when the books were just like hugely popular. She says there's a difference between it, and it's not like flesh blood from a womb. It's been blood that's festering in your uterus for a while, whatever.
Festering.
That is the best way that I can describe that.
I think she is splitting hairs and not obviously like having plot holes, but whatever. Oh, Jess, she got married at 20. I was married at 19. That's so funny.
Okay, Nicole, I have a good question for you then. Now it just escaped my brain. Just keep going. I don't even know where my brain is not with it today, guys. I'm sorry. Words are hard. Everything's
little trickle, more than a normal paper cut.
I remember my question this time.
Yay!
Okay, in all of the vampire novels that you read, in all of the vampire novels that you've read, do any of the other vampires have issues with period blood?
Some, yeah. Some I don't necessarily have issues, but they can smell it. Like I've read a couple.
But he deals with it. Does every vampire novel that you talk about go into depth with, oh my God, she's on her period, I can tell.
But it's literally like, it's a little pinprick of a blood drop because of a paper cut, that Jasper makes this huge freaking deal about it, but he can walk through a school with, I guarantee you, half the girls there are on their period.
It's different.
And like, Izzy, that sounds like awful propaganda about how period blood works.
So,
but I have read a couple of vampire books where they do discuss, you know, women on their period, but no, it's not like.
But it's not. So why are we making a big deal about this one versus all of the rest of them?
It's literally because of what I just said. And thank you, Izzy. Yes, women are not allowed to have periods, apparently.
I mean,
authors avoid it.
We read to escape. Let's just be real. None of us read about periods.
It's a natural part of life. So if you're gonna have someone like freaking out over a drop of blood, let's be realistic here. But that was like, I literally like wrote like a paragraph. I was like, are you kidding me? And I literally just thought about it. I don't even think I thought about that when I first read the book.
Yeah, it never crossed my mind to be like, oh, well, people are walking around with their periods 12 times a day for this guy. Like, he doesn't have a problem with that. It never occurred to me. I was just like, oh, she got a paper clip or cut. Oh my God, I can't say words. I'm just done.
It's literally like, maybe it's because I'm an adult now. And then this is my next is when it's like literally 4 pages and it's just saying like months. I'm just like, that's quite enough, young lady.
Well, how else are you going to describe like the amount of time to go by? You can't just go 4 months later.
I'm just glad that like she didn't expand on those 4 months. Let's just be real.
The book was long enough with just the 4 pages.
Was long enough. I'm like, oh yeah, this was my post note about like when she first was starting to hear like Edward's voice, and I was like, was this explained or is she just crazy? Turns out she's just crazy. Awesome. And I think this was explained, but I did put another post-it note where I thought it was weird that like Jacob was just now turning into a werewolf, but I think it has to do with his age. Like you had to be like a certain age and it triggers it, or like really angry, like, and that triggered it for some people.
I think angry. They did go into that. It's just like I think his dad had asked a question and he snapped at him, and that was what caused him to change. But I think it goes more in depth than other books, if I remember right, where the more vampires around, the more
right. But then I was thinking like, how long have the Cullens been there this time around? And then like, why, like, obviously I think Jacob said something about once it like that gets triggered, there's no stopping it. So it's like, even though they left, but the change is still like, you know, coming just because it was triggered.
That is something that kind of got me, because I was like, well, they left, and then I'm like, oh, it's Laurent and what's her face, the fiery haired lass.
Victoria. I was gonna say Veronica, and I was like, no, that's not right.
I know, my brain like went blank. I'm going, oh my God, guys, I promise next week I'm gonna have a cup of coffee as we're discussing the book. Also, again, this is not my favorite novel, so I don't remember it quite as freshly. Whatever. Maybe I'll wait to read it until Wednesday.
Freshly, yeah, because you read it like last week. But I do remember they were saying
Sunday.
I do remember like they were saying that Sam was the one that turned first, but like we didn't get any part of that in the first book. So I was just like, it just seems like when I was reading it, like the turn was very sudden. Like, oh, we have suddenly all these werewolves now, but the Cullens are literally like just leaving. You would think they would start turning when they first arrived. It was just weird.
And there was only 2 technically, and Laurent and Victoria weren't really around. They weren't frequent enough, I feel like, for so many of them to change. And they were already expecting, what was it? Is Quill his friend's name? They were expecting him to change fairly soon, and I was just like, there's like nobody around. Why are more of you still coming about?
Like I said, Jacob was saying like once the change has been initiated, it's just going to keep going.
That's silly. Because what happens when a bunch of them leave, and then it's just like you have a bunch of werewolves running around
for no reason?
What is their purpose?
For no reason.
Other than to have a nice big wolf pet.
And I also can't remember how long the Cullens had been there, like during the Twilight book. Like, how long were they there? And is it just because that nobody was the correct age before?
Probably like 2 or 3 years, because I think they touched on it in Twilight, where they said, "Oh yeah, a couple years ago I don't think it was defined the time frame, but they mentioned it was recently that they had come back. Because how else would they have lived if all the kids were in high school? So some of them would have had to, like Rosalie, Jasper, and Emmett must have started a year early, so then Alice and Edward could do whatever, because they are still. Are they seniors this year? Or were they juniors in this book?
I think they were juniors. No, because they went to prom last year. So I think they were juniors in Twilight, and then I think they're I think Sam turned when they showed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think it's because, like, nobody else was, like, of age.
No, they're not seniors this year, because they graduate and then they get married in Breaking Dawn. So that means that senior year has to be eclipsed. So this has got to be their junior year. Sorry. I had to math it in my head.
Had to. But then also, like, in between Twilight and New Moon, not a lot of time has passed, because like it was literally just over Christmas that she started freaking out.
Right.
I'm trying to remember. I read it earlier this month. Yeah, it's it's because of the age. Like, they weren't age appropriate. So ancient Hager. So. Yeah, that's true.
True.
But then they're just like, oh, we can't, like, we've already, like, and especially, like, because of the excuses that Edward was coming up with when he was, like, trying to, like, get out of there. He's like, I gotta leave. He's like, we've already been here too long. Carlisle's not aging. And I was just like, okay, you've literally been, like, you're not gonna, even if, I don't know. Maybe because it's supposed to be because he's supposed to be older, but he was just trying to get out of there. He was like, I gotta go.
I think they discussed this in the first book, that they start them out younger, even though they look a little bit older, so that they can stay in one place for a lot longer. Right. So they kind of want to, like, build a lifestyle there and stay as long as they can before they have to really peace out, because they just don't change.
Right.
So that's why they start out younger. I remember that. I don't need copies of that one. That one probably happened in Twilight, and that's why. Yeah. Next question note.
I just that's okay. My next post-it note is when Jacob is running across the field and he, like, shifts, like, mid jump, and of course, like, when he's running, he, like, rips off his shirt, and I was like, I just remember, like, girls were going nuts in the theater when this happened.
Yeah, because they finally get to see a shirtless man. Woo!
Yes! Not a man. He was supposed to be young, but okay.
I mean, there you go. He's not young. Well, he's not too terrible.
Amanda, that is, like, for real. I could not go to high school over and over again.
The drama in my adult life of, like, high school drama, I'm like, we're too old for this garbage. Like, get over it.
That's true. People do look different. Like, especially, I think, like, especially, like, boys, because they, like, I don't, like, they just get, like, yeah, they just get, like, in those 4 years, you know, like, they just get, like, they just look so different from freshman to senior year. To attend school with their daughter.
That's eventually what's going to happen, probably.
Like, just don't even, just move on. They're independently wealthy. They don't necessarily have to, but, like, they would probably be really bored. About them all in school, like, all the, like, the oh my gosh. I really love, like, the Twilight reread Voxer, and you guys, like, just send TikToks to Twilight. Oh, I love it so much. I was like, y'all, you're not going to make me download TikTok. You're not going to do it.
Yeah, I know. People keep sending me TikToks occasionally, and I'm like, I'm not downloading this app. Like, I don't need to go down this dark hole. I've got too many apps to go down anyways.
Yes. So I was like, I know myself. If I download TikTok, it's just going to be, instead of like scrolling like Pinterest or Instagram or Facebook late at night, it's going to be freaking TikTok. So I don't need
I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
Going looking like fifth graders.
It's true, though. It's true.
So true.
I saw a picture of myself from high school, like freshman year, because I was in band, and I was like, yeesh. And then I come across one from my senior year, and I was like, look, I look slightly normal now.
I look slightly younger or older. But yeah, that's I just think it's like so much worse for boys, you know, for that, when that happens. So it's like, yeah, they look so different. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like from my freshman year to my senior year, I don't look all that different, but
I can't think about freshman boys. I'm too old.
Yeah, I'm too old to be thinking about freshman boys. I shouldn't even be thinking about senior boys, like, honestly. Let's be real. I was taken for a middle schooler.
Yeah, true.
Oh. Yeah, it's just, I only know is that if I was a vampire, I would not be going back to school. I would literally do anything else.
I mean, you say that now, but if you're blessed with immortality and you can live for forever, you might change your mind being like, you know what, I'm kind of bored. This year I'm just going to go back to high school for a bit.
Do you know how many new books are released every single week? I would not be bored.
If you're a vampire, you can read it in like 2 minutes. Be like, that was a great book. Woo! What do I do with the rest of my night?
Okay, like speed reading, yes, but then comprehension plummeting.
You're a freaking vampire. You can read at like the speed of just not light, but super super fast. Like, you comprehend everything. Edward doesn't forget anything. He does, whatever. College. I could do college on repeat.
I was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, they can run super fast, but does that equate to
like they don't sleep. Fast? Okay, you can, if you didn't have to sleep.
That would suck.
If you didn't have to sleep, you would literally
you only
have so all the time in the world to read.
I would be like,
yeah,
picking up so much, like so many different hobbies. Like,
your grades wouldn't matter. That would be perfect.
That's true. Like, you just like, okay, I'll just have to repeat senior year into infinity.
It'll be a goal like every year.
Like, once you graduate, you could be like, I just don't want to go back next year, you know. You can just like take the next 10 years off.
Yeah, you don't have to go back to school every year. Just like maybe every century, you're like, let's see what they're learning now. Like, what's new in the world?
Oh yeah, we go in like 20. Oh, Common Core. I'm gonna dip out. Bye.
But like, you can't change math. Math has been the same for the last 3 centuries.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I'd be like, no. I would literally have to go back to school for that. I'd be like, I don't want to do this.
See, now you're already convincing yourself to go back to school.
I know.
Once a century. It doesn't have to be like every decade. Just once a century, just head back to school for a little bit, refresh yourself on the world, duck out, and just call it a day.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
You'd have read a lot of books in between then. You'd want a little bit of a change of scenery. And you could still read at night for the new ones coming out that you had to keep up on.
Since we can't sleep. Since we can't sleep. That'd be rude. Okay, so my next Post-it note is would be that person. For reals. They have to upgrade their knowledge.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. I literally memorized in school so that I could get my grade and then I was out.
Yes. And then it goes it stays in there. Hopefully it stays in there for the test. And then after the test, it's like, whoop, bye.
It's like that first week back from summer school, from not summer school, but from summer, you were just like, what is school? Did I learn this last year? You expect me to remember this?
Right.
Oh.
And wouldn't you need exposure to the age you're supposed to be to blend in?
Exactly.
Honestly, probably. Like, you'd be like this 17-year-old grandma. Like, oh,
it's
so
hilarious.
funny. So funny. I wouldn't want to do it, honestly.
You say that because you have a limited time. That's so depressing.
If I had a finite amount of time, like, thank you for that. I know.
But if time was unlimited, I think that you would be more open to like, okay, I could go back for a bit.
I'm with Izzy. I would go to college. Because there's so many like different degrees you could really take that underwater basket weaving class if you really wanted to.
True.
So my next post-it note is when Alice comes back, because we.
Oh my God, that's like the end of the book.
I know, exactly. I know. It's like I have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
we go
7,
talk
8,
about Jacob
9, 10,
transitioning mid-jump, and then Alice is back.
I have 11 post-it notes. Sorry.
That's gotta be a record low.
But honestly, like when Jacob transitions in like mid-leap, it's literally halfway through the book.
All right, okay.
That's how much doesn't happen. But yeah, so Alice comes back, and Jacob calls, Bella on the phone to be like, make sure that she's okay, and like he's like, just making sure you're still alive. He's like, I'm fine. I told you it wasn't. Yeah, I got it. Bye. And he hangs up. And I was just like, Lord save me from like these temper tantrum throwing men. Like, stop. Like, so dramatic. Oh my God. Got it. Bye. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah. Oh yeah. And this was just like him answering the phone and telling that like he's at the funeral.
Because you knew if he didn't know that it was Carlisle, he probably assumed Edward was nearby and could hear. So if he said vaguely, oh yeah, he's at the funeral, there's only one reason why Carlisle's calling. And if you don't give enough information, you can get, one person out of the way of, you being able to have a relationship with a ghost. Because Bella's not real. Let's be real.
Well, she's really crazy. Let's
accurate.
Really crazy. And there were a couple times in the book where she was telling him like, yeah, that's not what this is for me. Like, I don't like. She's like basically like, I love you like a brother.
All the time.
But she still allows him to hold her hand and get like really close to her, kissing her. Like, okay, girl, make up your mind. Like,
if you're gonna string him along, at least give him the hope, or at least make sure that he. Yeah, she wanted to make him feel better, because there were a lot of times when she would say something like, oh, I should really make sure I define the line of where we're at, and then she'd define the line, and he'd be like, oh, I'm so sad, and then she's like smudged it, and she's like, oh, but here, feel better, and it's like, no, you wanted to define the line. You can't define the line and then just like throw paint on it and being like, well, figure out where the line is at because it's under there.
Like, rude. The next time you go to do something like really intimate, like, then I'll say something like, again, like, seriously? Like, no, that's not how this works. He obviously thinks it's something else, and he's hoping for something else, even though he'll say like all day long, like, oh no, I know we're just friends.
Yeah. But, and she's fully aware of what she's doing, and she doesn't stop it because she doesn't want to lose him as a friend. Granted, because she doesn't have anyone else in her life making her happy. But at the same time, I'm like, you already telling yourself that you're a shell of the person that you used to be. Like, it's not fair to anyone to make sure that you have any amount of a connection with them romantically because it's not going to work in that sense for you. So just, yeah. Words.
For reals. And then the same thing like with Mike. Like they go to this movie together and everybody was supposed to come, but then like it's literally only Bella, Jacob, and Mike. And I just remember in the movie where they're like sitting next to each other and like literally their hands are just out like this.
Mike gave up first. Can I just tell you, that reminded me of something that happened. We were Guardians of the Galaxy. You and someone else were supposed to meet me for me and a coworker and his girlfriend and a sister. But you guys went to the wrong movie theater. And then I got stuck there all alone.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I would do.
I was listening to that scene and I was like, oh my God, something very similar happened to me. I mean, the hand holding was not up. I was not into that. But at the same time, you guys abandoned me. And I'm like, I bet this is what it looks like to his girlfriend. I was like, can you guys drive here and make it by the time the movie starts? And you were like, no.
I do remember this because you were like literally on. We were at the theater on Northern. I don't know why.
We were at the Westgate, or not Westgate, but because
Westgate. Because that's the one at Northern.
Yeah, and me and Vera always go to Norterra. So you were I told you, I was like, we're going to this one, but you had assumed that it was a different one, and I'm like, oh, it's terrible.
like we literally cannot make it there. We're on the other side of the planet.
You're like, it's going to take us 45 minutes. And I was like, you'll make it just in time for the movie to start.
Oh, yeah. Jess, I do remember that. Saying, like, if she had never met Edward, she totally would have been with Jacob, for sure. I do remember that. When baby girl is...
True.
Yeah.
She did.
Everyone.
She is.
I like honestly, like I felt like if Jacob wasn't so annoying, I would probably feel bad for him, but he is annoying.
He really is.
She doesn't act like a good friend. And like especially during this time when she said, I get it, you're sad. I get it. But then like her friends start going and doing whatever they want because like, okay, well, you can't rely on Bella anymore. She's just basically existing. And then she just decides, oh, I should just talk to them. Like not even offering like an apology.
Like, who's this?
Not even offering an apology. Just starts talking to them again. Like, seriously? But yeah, I just remember that part of the movie where they're sitting there, just their hands out like this. Like that looks so awkward. No one sits like that.
No.
It's so bad.
No. I'm trying to think of like any situation where you would, and I'm like, no, there is none.
If you want the person to hold your hand, then yeah, you might be like,
that's the only one. That is the only one.
Literally the only time that you have your hand out like that. It's so unnatural. Oh God. Okay, yeah, my next post note is basically saying that Robert Pattinson tried really hard to get those abs for that scene. He tried so hard.
He's a skinny little man. What do you
tragic?
I remember the memes of him like airbrushing them on someone. Oh God, those were great.
Did they? That's so
that was what the meme was. They're like, he's so skinny that they had airbrushed abs onto him. And then I think I saw one where they were like, yeah, they used Hawaiian rolls. They sprayed those and then put them on. And I was like, oh, like, because I think it was a really bad job, if I remember right.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Again, I need to rewatch these movies.
Yeah.
You
should totally do that. But yeah, I just
all 5 in 24 hours.
Deja, she took that crown. That's amazing.
She did. Impressive. I'm impressed.
Impressive. Oh yeah. Okay. So my last post-it note is basically like, I know, really. Your change is all gone. That is so funny. Oh my gosh. Well, at least you know, like your dad just calls or gets on the live stream to check on you. That's so.
Oh
funny.
yeah, we didn't know. Did your husband end up coming on? He said he was going to try and watch.
Joe, if you're watching, I need you to comment so we actually know that you're here. Because my husband, even though he literally never watches any of these live streams or any of my videos, he's like he said on Facebook that he would try to watch tonight. I was just like, oh,
I'll believe it when I see it.
Seeing wrong with that shirt.
It's true though.
Oh, poor baby. Poor thing.
Well, because they put like a bunch of like purple makeup under him to try to show that he was like malnourished. So I was like, he's a freaking vampire. How else can you? Oh.
And it was like I think in the book it literally said like he looks so tired. I was like, bitch, he don't sleep. Like what?
He doesn't sleep. He hasn't
does not sleep. How can he look tired? Like,
I mean, they have to show it somehow, I guess.
I am so insensitive about all their feelings. Sorry. So sorry. But Deja's like, I have no life.
I remember those days. Don't get a job, Deja. Because once you have one, you don't stop until you're like 50.
65, that's when retirement is. I hope they lower it to like 35 because I don't know if I can work that long.
I'm ready to travel. Let's go. Actually, we can't travel, so never mind.
We can't. We can literally do nothing. I can literally work and come home. That's what we can do now. Well, my last post-it note is basically it's Edward's condition. Like he'll turn her into a vampire if like, and he's like, marry me first. And she's like, what's the punchline? You're wounding my ego, Bella. I just proposed to you. You think that's a joke? And I was like, well, maybe if you did it a little bit more romantically. Like,
I was like, possibly get down on one knee. I will say in the clips, it was like literally my favorite scene when he proposed because it was so beautiful.
Well, in the book, he's literally just like, well, marry me. Like, what?
I think he proposes a lot in Eclipse. I remember that because he's just trying to get her to like legitimately take him serious for the proposal.
Right.
And it's not until the day before the big fight.
Deja, let us know if he proposes. I can't remember what happens in the movie, how he proposes.
It's in his bedroom the night before the big fight. Oh, the night before they go to the mountain for the big fight. Because remember, Alice was just like, let's have a sleepover. And then they're like, Alice, because they had to trick Charlie into letting her go stay over at his house. They were like, oh yeah, Edward's going to be gone for the weekend because that was the weekend of the big fight. And then they had their night at the Colin house because everyone else left to go get food or whatever to.
You mean he doesn't propose like this in the movie?
No, it was really sweet. In the movie, he had like this whole speech, and then you see that hideous ring, and you're like, that is just god awful. You do not tell me you like that ring because I know it's a false statement. He opened that, and I was like, I would say no on principle that ring was just awful.
Yeah, it was kind of like. And it was like her engagement ring, but you know how like on my wedding set, like the engagement ring is worn with the wedding band on the left hand.
Yeah.
But she wears that engagement ring on the right hand. It was just like, I don't know. But yeah, it was awful.
But yeah, they had their whole little moment.
Was it like a family heirloom or something? Or
I think it was his mom's. Okay. So there was a reason behind it. I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, please, like, rip out the diamonds and like put them in a nicer setting because that oval thing was just no.
It looked like a bird's egg.
Yeah, it just I don't know. It wasn't my style. Wasn't sure. It would not be something that I would ever imagine Bella wearing either. So
that is not the case.
Hey, Laura.
I'm here, as is Jade. That is not a Jade. Hi, Jade. How are you? Now she wants to see the movies.
We'll have to call. We'll do a FaceTime. We'll all watch it. That's the only way I think that I'm going to be able to get through these is if I watch it with someone and then like just trash it.
We're literally oh great. Perfect.
Woohoo! Do the wave.
I had my wine, sorry.
I was like, what's the wine? Be careful.
It's almost gone. It was full, but
my water's still pretty full. Whoopsies.
Well,
I don't want to fill up on water, although apparently there's no PF Chang's for me. So thanks.
You got to fill up on water because.
But I did make the cake that we're gonna be eating, so it's gonna be good.
Cake. Cake sounds so good.
It was a butter yellow with chocolate frosting, and then we shaved a little bit of a chocolate bar across the top, so it gave it a nice little garnish on top.
You're fancy.
Do you want me to bake you a cake?
Yes.
I've been watching the Great British Baking Show, and oh my gosh, it's wonderful. It's
You're
almost
learning
like the new World Earth, but it's not.
You are learning stuff.
It does make me want to bake, but at the same time, they get like 4 and 5 hours to create these things, and I'm like, I don't have time for that. Can you give me something in like 30 minutes?
Yeah, exactly, Izzy. I want cake now, too.
You can have cake. You just have to make sure you have all the ingredients. So you have to have the cake mix, probably some water, butter, and eggs, and then an oven to bake it in.
But I want someone else to make it for me. It doesn't taste as good if you make cake for yourself.
I mean,
it doesn't.
This is true. I was trying to justify it, and I was like, no, Dad!
Cake's gone. Dad. Oh my God. Not worrying, but please don't send one my way.
I'll work on it, guys. I'll make a cake next week and just send it out.
Cakes don't taste as good if you make it yourself.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this one's going to be delicious.
I disagree. I love making cakes for myself. I like buying cakes for myself because
I will say, my work, we get a chocolate cake from Costco, and it is literally the greatest thing ever. It's so
at your
good.
Work?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
when
had,
they
like,
celebrate
a birthday week.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Sorry, I'm just putting this up here because oh, put this back. Y'all, if you need to get candles. Sorry, wow, you can't even see that. There we go.
Still can't see it. I can see Black Sea, and that's it.
It smells really good. Page Turning Candle Company. Is that Mama? No, that's her dad.
Big dog.
That is Dad.
I'm sure they're all watching because
I'm pretty sure. Hi, Mama Joe.
Hi, family.
Hey, is this
there
Jessica? Is this Jessica? Jessica at Game of Tomes. Yes, India's candle. They're fantastic. They literally smell up your whole house. I did the yellow cake one because my husband likes like those sweet smelling, like the dessert smelling candles. And so I lit it and I could literally, it was in the kitchen and I could smell it in my office. It was fantastic.
Oh, you're making me hungry.
Jessica's here.
Hey, Jessica.
Thank you for joining us. You're so sweet.
I was like, I don't know what else to talk about. We could keep
that was literally my last posting note.
I knew that this one was going to be shorter though because I was like, nobody likes New Moon, and it's just basically to get to Eclipse.
Oh, watching while working.
Nice.
On the DL. I love it.
I guess we should open the floor. Does anyone have any questions?
Anybody
comments,
have anything?
Concerns, discussion points?
Anything you want to talk about that we didn't talk about? The floor is yours. Please.
Nope, never mind. I was gonna say, do we want to touch base? Have we had enough story to? Because, oh my God, I'm going to butcher this. So in the first live stream we did for Twilight, I believe it was Deja, maybe? No, I think it was someone else. Anyways, where they asked us who was our favorite character in the books and, like, were they still our favorites? But I think we need to wait longer. My bad.
Oh, Deja, here we go. If you could have any vampire of the vampires, which would you have? I don't know. I feel like I would go crazy if I could hear people's thoughts. I would go insane. I would go crazy.
But he says that you can kind of trim them out. Like, it's like a radio. So you can kind of put it on the backward and it'd be like a but that would still get annoying. I don't know if I would want to have Alice's, because if you could
just be
picture, I mean, it would be kind of cool, but at the same time, it would ruin the surprise for everything.
Can I just be a normal vampire? I would literally just love like the super speed and strength. That's all I want. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to be greedy.
If I had to be greedy, though, I would pick Bella's power, because it's not like a shield. It's not like a real power, but at the same time,
that is a pretty cool power, though, to be a shield.
True.
I've only read New Moon. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, you need to listen to it so you can get past it.
Do you notice things the second time around you missed when you read them early on? Just the period stuff. That's about it. That is literally it. Laura saying she wants to be a shield too. Edward has, like, he can hear thoughts. Right?
Yeah. He can read minds, except for Bella's.
Except for Bella's. Yes. And that's why they work so well together.
Although I guess you could have... Nope, I don't want that either, because I was thinking of the vampires in Italy, and I was like, what are their powers? You could cause someone pain, but I don't feel like I would ever utilize that.
And then Chase is asking, why do they call you Fur? Literally, no one calls anyone that, but thank you.
Oh, with the picture, it's got little Winnie in there. Sorry. Winston is my nephew. He's a dog.
Jess, you're fine. You're fine.
You need coffee too. We'll have some after this.
I think I'd want Aro's power. He literally hears every single thought a person has, but he also, like, he touches, like, he grabs Alice's hand. So I feel like that it's controlled that way. It's not like Edward's where he's getting, like, bombarded.
Yeah.
Am I making that up? I don't know.
No, I think that's true. I think you have to have physical contact in order for it to happen.
Oh, I love your mom, Deja. Honestly, that would be a really cool one. Like, if some, like, creep was just, like, coming up on you and be like, pain, get out of here.
I'm trying to think, what are some of the other ones that they have? The ones in Italy.
That one vampire, I can't remember her name right now. I'm so sorry. I feel like I am a fake fan. But the one with, like, the electricity, I freaking love that.
Oh, yeah, the Amazon lady. I think she's an Amazon. No, but I think she's one of the people in Alaska.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Your mom is iconic.
That was a good question.
That was a great question. Deja, I love you so much.
Ooh, I've got one. Oh, wait, hold on. Laura's got one.
What about the one that could give people within a radius of vision?
Oh, yeah, she was in one of the Amazon, I think.
Oh.
Remember, she could make you feel like wherever you were.
Yes, like hallucinations. That would be cool.
If you could have any of the werewolves, which one would it be? There you go. That's a fun one. We'll flip the tables.
I love you too. If I could have any one of the werewolves in my pack, which one would I have?
No, as a pet.
Oh, as a pet? I wouldn't want them as a pet.
I mean, as a pet.
I'm going to say Sam because he's the oldest one. Yeah, she can make them see whatever they want. And that's fun, awesome.
Unless if you're in a fight, how useful is that?
You can make them think they're falling down a big hole. It's great. They'll just be on the ground. That would be like an amazing power. What are you thinking?
Oh. I'm gonna go with the shield again. I'm gonna stick with the shield.
Shield.
Deja.
Bring my Deja's clutching her pearls, let me tell you.
We already found out last week that those don't exist. Now we have to mark this as not safe for young children. Oh,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. He's the one. He's a strange looking one, I think.
He's the strange looking one. I don't know what his name is, and I don't know what his power is, but you are correct. And
Lee
also,
Pace.
yes, I was just about to say that. I wasn't going to say Lee Pace because I didn't know his name. I was going to say Orlando Bloom's dad in The Hobbit. It is. You're so right, Izzy. That's for sure. I didn't know. Yeah, no. I didn't know who a lot of these people were back then.
True. They were up and coming. This was their big start.
Lee Pace wouldn't be anything but a vampire, honestly.
Didn't he play in the Avengers?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was Ronan.
We just recently watched Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Wasn't he also in?
He was in Captain Marvel.
No. Was he? Oh, maybe that's a different movie. Was he in the X-Men movies? Or was that a different person? I can't remember.
Hey, Siri.
Siri will know. Siri will know.
Let's find out. I'm actually going to IMDb. Lee Pace.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is
Guardians of the Galaxy. Later.
For sure. For sure. I remember probably one of the first movies I remember seeing Lee Pace in was called Possession, and it was with Sarah Michelle Gellar. It was like this B-rated movie that I bought just because I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. I mean, it was pretty good.
Thranduil.
In X-Men?
No, in The Hobbit.
Yeah,
Thranduil.
He was.
Garrett's his name in the Twilight Saga. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Garrett. I was like, yeah, he was Orlando Bloom's dad.
He was in Pushing Daisies.
Was that a show? I never watched that.
I think it was. I'm not seeing anything in here about any of the movies that we were talking about. Which one am I looking for? X-Men. Thank you. I was like, I knew that if it was up there, then I would know, but yeah.
Oh, see, Izzy loved him on Pushing Daisies. I never watched that show, so
I think my sister watched it because it sounds really familiar, and I vaguely remember him from that.
I never watched that.
Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about, y'all? I mean, we're at an hour. We can. I mean, I know you don't have any P.F. Chang's to eat, but
they've got food.
I know my mom put on the record. I just want to put on the record that my husband has not commented, so I don't think he's watching.
If he is watching, he should come into the room. Maybe he doesn't have an account. Wow, that's a lie. I think he told me the other time that he did.
You have an account. He does too.
You just walk out when you're done being like, we're done. Why didn't you comment?
Where were you? He watches a whole bunch of YouTube videos, but not mine. He watches like the RV YouTubers. He made pies.
Now I want pie. Actually, what I really want is a peach cobbler.
That sounds good. That was came on supporting you. And honestly, I'm surprised my mother-in-law usually watches too. So
she's probably watching, but she didn't comment. She didn't
want to. She usually just says
show every week.
She usually just says, "Hey, I'm watching."
And we could
wait. She doesn't read, but she'll definitely watch because she is supportive. She supports.
But yeah, there's not much to talk about. I mean, New Moon, I think almost everyone can agree is their least favorite book. It's just favorite. So sad and depressing, and you're like, I read to escape, not to be sad. Unless if I want to cry, and then I'm reading The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, for reals. Like there's sometimes where you do want to cry, but then
AP, that's gotta be that's extra. So good. Boop, 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 boop.
That is extra. AP classes are hard. AP tests are hard. I hated my AP tests.
memorizing wasn't enough.
My English AP exams were just like, learn how to write 5 essays in 2 hours. Thank you.
I don't have that kind of time to think. It's going to take me 4 of them just to figure out what I want. He did come in, so he's probably watching.
Are you watching? Yeah? You hesitated.
Should I be Olaf in the background? He hesitated.
Love you. He did come in the room. That's so funny.
You probably heard us talking about him, and he was like, I don't know what they're talking about, but I hear my name, so I'm just going to pop in real fast.
Like, he keeps hearing my husband, and he's like, they're probably talking shit about me.
Maybe
we are.
Maybe Bev was just like, sweet, you need to just go in the room real fast. Say hi.
Just say hi.
She's looking out for her son.
She did text him that one night. It's like, I'll text him when she...
I do remember that. And she's like,
a couple live streams ago. And I go out, and I'm like, did your mom text you? And he's like, yeah. So funny.
Oh, goodness.
Ooh. A 5? Girl, get it. United States history, a 4 in English language.
Oh my God, that's stressing me out just reading that for you. You're going to graduate college before you even get there. I don't even know. She's going to have,
20 college credits. You're going to have like your first 2 years done.
Yeah.
At least her prereqs.
Yeah. And honestly, that's the worst part of college is just trying to get through those because you're like, come on. Just want to get to my degree already.
Yeah, exactly.
Although if you don't know what you that was me. It took me a while.
Yeah. My mom was literally like, you need to go to college or you're going to have to start paying rent. Okay, college I went.
I'm like, I signed up. Look, I made it.
I made it. Great. And then I was literally married a year later. So there we go. All right. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
I'm going to go with...
Now is the time to comment away because next week we are talking about Eclipse, which we will definitely have more to say about Eclipse. Let's just say that.
100%.
100%. This book was, I mean, I've read worse books.
I've read worse books. True.
My husband, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much, babe. I appreciate it.
It only took us, we started these in March, April, 3 months. You know what? I count that as a win, all right? I count it as a win.
He's finally watching. He commented books. You're right. Books. We were talking about books. Good job, babe. Normal classes? Yeah, honestly.
I was too lazy in school. I'm going to be real.
I was too lazy, even though I was in AP classes in high school. I was too lazy in high school. But in college, since I was literally paying for these classes,
that was the difference.
I was like, I better, pass. So in my entire, I did 2 years for my associates, and then I went back a couple years later and got my bachelor's. I literally only got like 3 Bs, like in my entire college career. So
oh yeah,
I was a better student in college than I was in high school.
Yeah, because when you're paying for that, it's just like, nope.
Girl, get that GPA. Look at that.
You're killing it.
You're amazing.
I did graduate cum laude.
I did too. College.
Yeah. I think I did for high school too. I was a very lazy. I was a procrastinator.
Yeah, I think I graduated 100%. College at like 3.26, honestly.
I'm like,
my college. It's like I graduated, so yeah, that's about it.
I made it. That's all that counts.
C is passing. I know. But okay, so yeah, next week, Eclipse.
6 p.m. Arizona time.
Week after that, Breaking Dawn. Then we have a week off, and then Midnight Sun.
I just got my notification from the digital library. I'm number 72 on the ebook, and I'm number 14 on the audiobook. I'm still waiting for the other library to tell me if I'm any better. Or if I have to go buy the book. Yeah.
For Midnight Sun? Oh, okay. I'm definitely going to buy that book.
I know, but I was hoping that I could wait to get it on Book Outlet. But yeah.
Let me do good in school so I can get into a good college. That's amazing, though. That's great.
It's good to have that motivation young, because not everyone has that.
I did not have that. No. I went to a trade school, and then I went to a community college, so did not no. I do not like learning. No. And then, okay, so after Midnight Sun, the rest of August, we literally have nothing until September. So
I'm sure we'll fill it up.
If y'all want us to talk about something specific, let us know. Yeah, definitely. Let us know if you want us to talk about something, because we definitely will. We could literally just come on live and just do like a read with me. Just chat.
Read with me. No, we could just sit here. We'll get wine and we'll just start talking. We'll talk about movies. Ooh, we should pick a movie to do.
Want to do a movie? We could do a movie.
I don't know how we would do that. I know that you have like copyright stuff. So you tell me how that works, and then we'll figure it out. And if
you wouldn't be able to like, you wouldn't be able to live watch the movie. You just talk about it.
We could live watch it and just not have the volume on here, and we could just tell you our thoughts as we're watching it. Can you do that? Can you hear it, or is that still copyright?
It's
like a commentary, but you're looking at us while we look at that.
Deja, don't even play with me, because you know I will. I will.
I'm gonna need a list then, because I'm wildly behind.
I sent her and Nat at This Is Nat's Nook. Was I supposed to send it to Charles? Charles, are you still here? You literally talked at the beginning and haven't talked since, so I'm just wondering if you're still here. But I sent both Deja and Nat a list of BDSM books they should read. That's not 50 Shades of Grey. I was like, yes, I will. I will do that for you.
I'm sure we could find like a standalone book too if we needed, just to give us a reason to chit chat. We could do a Sandra Brown book. We could get Kelsey in here on that one then.
Oh my god, I would love if we got Kelsey on. Kelsey, because she hasn't made videos, she totally like deleted all of her stuff. I loved Kelsey when she made all of her stuff, but you know, she was just never on here. I would love it if she was on here. And then Jess and Christina at Game of Tomes, not making videos anymore either. Ooh, Penelope Douglas, Devil's Night series. Okay, so I read Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, and I loved it. I need to read more of her work. You should read Birthday Girl, too. That list is too long. Jess. Last live show, Charles just came to dismantle in the comments. He did. Both. I mean, you and Charles were just, you know, going at it, and we loved it.
There's a lot of heat in that conversation.
It was great. I loved it. And then I did a live show with Deja on Sunday, and she literally, you can put someone in timeout on the comments. Like if someone's getting crazy, yeah, you can block them from commenting for like 5 minutes. And I was laughing so hard. Katie Robert, yes. Izzy, yes. Kate, you need to read Katie Robert, Jen. I told you to read Your Dad Will Do, because I had to explain
other things that I have to read that you've told me. Okay, pick one. Nalani Singh or like all of these other ones. Keep going.
You need to read all of them. You know, if you read them when I tell you about them, it wouldn't start piling up like this. I'm just saying.
I'm not on your level of reading, though.
And I told Izzy, Jen about Your Dad Will Do, and I had to explain what Daddy Kink was.
I knew what that was, but at the same time, it still just doesn't sound right. 1, 2, it doesn't sound, it sounds weird and creepy still. Like, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh.
You just read it and you'll change your mind.
Nicole is demanding. Thank you, Joe. See, this is why I'm doing this so chat, so that you can take my side.
Listen, Joe, if you're gonna be doing this, you need to be supportive of me, not Jen. Jessica, I don't know why she deleted her videos. I'm not sure. Your Dad Will Do. See, Brandy is saying Your Dad Will Do. Hope said I was a wimp if I didn't put her in time. She did. She basically dared you to do it, and you followed through. So she's a Leo.
True.
Deja, you find out I'm a Leo. You're supposed, yeah.
I'm going way down to the end. My sign is a Leo as well.
Yes, Jen's a Leo. We were like,
what's Jen? And I was like, that's me. And then she said sign, and I was like, because I was like, I don't know if you've watched the same video, but I've been here the whole time.
During when I went live with Deja on Sunday, the last probably like 45 minutes we talked about, star signs and your rising and your moon sign and all that stuff. And I got a chart, and apparently, yeah, I'm very heavy on the Leo, which. Yeah. Jen is a Leo because her birthday is in first week of August. So
second week, whatever. It's close enough. It's in the beginning of the month.
Because Leo goes until August 23rd, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know anything about fire signs.
True that.
Oh, it's so funny. I need to do more research on like the meanings of like the rising and the moon signs and all that stuff. Up to Nicole, she wants to approve or not. Oh, we know how. When it's so funny because we were in the live stream and we started talking about signs, and then Deja's like, "I don't get along with Leos," and I'm like, "I'm a Leo."
Being like, can I be the exception?
I'm like raising my hand in the back. I'm like, I'm a Leo. Here is my smutty. Oh, she's putting a list. You guys, get ready. Get ready.
Get your pens and papers out. Slow down, Professor.
Professor. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm ready for your list. I'm ready for your smutty list. Yes.
You've probably read it all.
That's not true. That's not true. There's so many books I have.
There you
go. Ooh, link above. Link above. What are we linking? Hold on. Link above. Link. Where's your link at? I don't see a link.
Email it.
Help.
I was like, I don't see it either, but you might have other access to the YouTubes.
I have YouTube over here, and usually, like, if it has... Oh. Nope.
Oh.
You can't post links in the comments.
Oh. Rude.
Your rising is like your first impression / mask you wear, and your moon sign is your inner... Okay, I'm trying to remember what my moon sign was. Hold on. It doesn't work. You have to approve it. I was looking in the YouTube, actually, not in StreamYard, and it doesn't have anything for me to approve.
I got nothing on my end. I just have a thing that says, you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about me. It's not giving me anything to approve. Wow. Oh yes, Deja. Thank you. My moon sign is Cancer. You're right. I've heard very polarizing things about Credence by Penelope Douglas. I've heard like you either love it or you hate it, minus spaces. Do you mean in your link? I have no idea. Oh well. Just Jess, DM me. Or you can just type like the wind and put it in the comments. That's so funny. Okay, hold on. I have my chart.
She just told you it was Cancer.
She was, but there's other things too. Oh no. I think it went away. It went away. I don't know I can't remember what my rising is anymore. Yeah, I'm still not seeing it. So
we'll have to attach it later. Share it on the tubes.
Share it.
Make it part of the
type away
comment section below.
I finished all my wine, you guys. So I gotta drink water. But yeah, okay. So
next week.
I think this is it. This is it, y'all, for today's live stream. But yeah, next week, eclipse. If there's any, was my rising sign also a Leo? I don't remember. Cancers are super emotional because they're water signs.
I don't get emotional, so I'm gonna say that's probably not me.
No, you're you'd have to put it like to get your chart, you have to put in like the day you were born, the time you were born, and then where you were born. Do you like the wine? I do. No, because he's asking because he bought this wine for me at a vineyard in northern Arizona. So yes, it was really good. Thank you, baby.
This is the third comment that he's made. Like, that's impressive. He's making up for past months.
I know. I love you so much.
Way to go, Joe.
But if there's anything you want us to talk about, or if you just want us to go live and just have a conversation like this, we can totally do that on the days we don't have anything scheduled. So that would be the first week of August, we don't have anything scheduled. And the last 2 weeks of August, we don't have anything scheduled. Jen can have some too. Let me just.
I'll have to come over. I mean, it is technically close to my sister's house where I'll be driving after this. So.
Ooh, you can come over if you want. Yeah. I'll be making sloppy joes for dinner.
Ooh, I'm having P.F. Chang's. There are still leftovers.
They said they ate it all.
Lies.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And I love every single one of you. And we will see you all next week when we talk about eclipse. Bye.